What is going on, everybody? It's your favorite coach, Danny C, coming at you live. Hope all is well. And as you can see, I am not alone today. We have one of my clients all the way from Hawaii, Jeremy B. Jeremy, what's going on today?
Good morning, Coach. I'm really just by the beach, joining your podcast today.
Yes, I love it. Super excited to have you. And Jeremy is here today because he was an individual, like a lot of guys struggling, or a lot of guys watching, like he was struggling with motivation and discipline, staying consistent with a healthy routine. So Jeremy's going to talk about that, his story, how he came to the program, losing body fat, losing weight, having more energy, even advancing in his career. Super proud of him. So, and I told him, like, I know his story can inspire some guys that are really struggling right now. So if you're a busy guy, you're struggling with some weight gain, struggling with some confidence, Jeremy is going to help you out today. So we're going to start this podcast right now. Jeremy, that sound good with you?
Sounds good, Coach.
Let's go. I love the energy. All right. So I'm going to start this right now and we will get it going. 3, 2, 1. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Men's Fat Loss Made Easy podcast, where I'm here to give you the best tips and tricks that you could use on your fat loss journey. Today, we are coming at you live with a special guest star, my client, Jeremy B. What is going on, Jeremy?
Good morning, Coach. Doing good. I'm on my day off, and I'm really by the beach talking
Let's
with you.
go. I love it. Nothing better, right? Nothing better than that.
Yep, it's the best view right now.
Yes, I bet, man. Jeremy's actually coming at us live from Hawaii, and it's actually a 6-hour difference, like from me right now. So, just wanted to appreciate you, Jeremy, for carving out some time for us, the audience. We really do appreciate it. And I know if you're listening to this podcast, you probably struggle with weight loss, feeling good, feeling confident. And Jeremy was literally in your shoes. So he is nice enough to actually give us some of his time, and we're going to be talking about his story today. Jeremy, is that good with you?
Sounds good, Coach. Thank you for having me today.
Of course, thank you. So let's just give the audience, Jeremy, a bit of a backstory of who you are. Like, how old are you? What do you do for work? And where are you from? Let's just start there.
All right. Good morning, guys. I am Jeremy Butak. I am from Hawaii, so I am 24 years old, and mostly I am a loan officer for a financial institution, and it is mostly a 9 to 5 job. So that's that's pretty much about me. Nothing too interesting.
That's okay, man. That's all right. Living life. I love it. So, with your, you talked about having the 9 to 5, and, I know you're really dialed in on your career right now. So, and you kind of have like a sedentary job. It's more sedentary than others. So, before you and I started working together, you were kind of stuck, right? So, what was your biggest struggle in your own fitness journey?
So the idea of just wanting to like go get back to shape before was like, okay, it's just mostly an idea.
Mm,
So that was the most, I guess, the biggest problem I was having was the mentality. It was a bit
mm,
hard to kind of like go day by day, like with the could have, would have, should have.
mm,
So now I work with Coach Danny, it's mostly
mm,
I'm making it into a reality slowly but surely. But
mm.
been a big transformation mentally, physically, and even just my own confidence at work or even in regular day-to-day basis.
Mm, I love that. Awesome. So when it comes to Jeremy, and yeah, thank you for sharing that. When it comes to before, you're like, oh, I want to do it, but you weren't like following through. Was that more of because you didn't have the accountability, you didn't have the game plan? What was kind of that struggle for you?
Yeah, I think you name it. I think you nailed it. So I just didn't. I just it's mostly on a forward plan, but there's no actual like an application to what I want to do.
Mm,
And I think yeah, no accountability. It's mostly, I'll do it again. I'll do it tomorrow, but then that
mm,
tomorrow never really happens because it's just very hectic environment where I work, and it doesn't help that when I get home, it was probably like around almost 7, and I have no time to kind of go out and
mm,
kind of do my like workout because I used to do like a little bit walking, jogging,
mhm.
but that's all it was. Like nothing else was added into it. No meal planning, no nothing. Just mostly, I'll do it whenever I can. So that mentality, I wasn't holding myself accountable enough.
Got it, got it. Yeah, it could be when we're doing it by ourselves, it could be like lonely, especially when you have a busy job like yourself where you're working long hours and then we don't have that accountability or the game plan, right? So, before the program, when you were struggling with that accountability and lack of motivation, like how was that negatively impacting you? Like, were you gaining some weight? Were you lower on energy? Kind of tell us about that.
Oh, I think in many different aspects. Was one is the mood, and
Mm,
at work it's just mostly it's very different. It's I would say I was probably one of the not too good people to be around with, especially if
mm,
like if things hit the ceiling. I think yeah, I gained yes, of course I gained weight. The
mm.
mentality, and it's pretty much just you get a short fuse if anything, if that makes sense. It's like you
Mm,
just everything kind of just irritates you if
mm,
it affects the mentality overall.
interesting. So, like, your overall mood, your energy, like, you were kind of quick to get, the anxiety and get into that negative state?
Yes, definitely. That's what I was going through before
Okay.
even joining
Oh,
the, your
okay.
your
Got it.
family.
Yeah, no, definitely, Jeremy. A lot of guys can resonate with that, kind of gaining weight, quick to make like impulsive decisions that maybe it's like, whether it's with stress or maybe it's emotional eating or whatever it is. I know a lot of guys can kind of resonate with that. But with you, Jeremy, you're like, all right, I need to make this change. And then you found me, you wanted to join the program. And I'm just wondering, like, because a lot of people, they're like online coaching. I'm not sure if this is going to work for me. So I don't know if you had the same beliefs, but like, when you and I first met, what was your initial hesitation in deciding to work with me?
Okay, so I'm pretty much like I'm more of a conservative person, but not really, if that makes
Mm,
sense.
yeah.
So when you know I mean when and I'm like, who's this dude messaging me like and in place I've never heard of, like it's
Yeah.
mostly in the East Coast. I'm like, oh dude, like is it for real? So
Yeah.
mostly I'm like so it's mostly like it's just so funny that before you even message me I've been browsing to those like, oh, what can I do for workout stuff like that.
Mm,
It's just very ironic. Then you kind of I saw your page and then okay, that was kind of intrigued watching your videos,
hmm
and then I honestly was like, that would be good to have one, but I don't know how to where to start. And I thought it was mostly like this dude probably just messing around with me or something like that. So I
mm,
didn't really know. So I thought you were just. I really thought it was a marketing ad. I really thought
hmm
that's what it was. So that's what most like. Let me just take a little. Like, I don't want to really engage because I don't know much about this person.
mm,
I don't know much about what he does. So I don't know. And especially I'm in Hawaii, so usually I'm more of a in person like for training stuff like that. But I'm like, oh,
hmm
I don't know how would that work for me because I mean
mm,
the time difference alone, I guess the attention, the accountability, those
mm,
I always want someone, hey, keep me in track like in person or something at work, like hey, focus, that kind of I want that kind of hand holding. So I
mm.
think that's what the biggest I guess hesitation before I even like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. No, Jeremy, totally understand. Especially you are like literally around the world, right? You're like 6 hours away, and it's definitely okay to feel those hesitations. And it's like, is this even going to work for me? And I think a lot of guys, they want to join a program, but they have hesitations if they're even going to follow through, right? And you had that same barrier, Jeremy, but now you're doing really well. You're crushing it. You went through your first 16 weeks, you sign up for a full year, so you're dedicated. And now we've been working together now for about like 4 or 5 months. And I just want to know, like, and the audience as well, what sort of results have we been able to accomplish together?
Oh, I thought it's been longer, but then because there's been a lot of progress I've been seeing, physically, mentally, and just my own evaluation of myself. So,
Mm,
I think of course one is confidence. That confidence is key.
mm,
I feel like I'm more confident about myself now.
mm,
Even my mentality, it also, just having a disciplined routine every day, having a workout to look after a
mm,
hectic day. Um, I think I've been having a better mentality. I've been in better mental state nowadays.
mm.
Like I've been more, I guess, compassionate, if that would make sense. Because I
Yeah.
know one of the training we had before is about that. So it just
Mm,
affects the whole thing personally and career wise. I've been more productive. I mean,
mhm,
I can see the result by numbers that I'm doing every month or day to day basis. So it's
mhm,
mostly it's affecting my life in many different aspects, physically, mentally, even even my own beliefs. You know. So
mm.
having the time, I'm having the type of people that you have in the group, it lifts each other up. So I think I'm in a better state than I was five months ago.
I love that, man. That's amazing. You hit it on the nail, honestly, Jeremy, with like, because that's what we focus on, right? It's not just about losing weight, it's about really leveling up with your health, wealth, relationships. That's what we go over in our, coaching calls as well. And you're implementing, you're winning, and you're feeling those changes. And I love that. So, outside of fitness, because you are feeling a lot better and you're seeing those changes, but like outside of fitness, you talked about your job. I love that. But like, what other big changes have you seen in your life? Is it like, the more confidence, better self esteem? You talked about, better moods. Like, how is it outside of fitness changing your life?
Yeah, I mean it's mostly I'm more open to I guess there's other op- options out there for me now, like for work wise career.
Yeah.
I'm able to, I mean, I think it's because of the progress I've made to myself recently. I'm able, there's some doors opened,
Mm,
for a different part of the in the different department.
mm,
Mostly I guess the better self-esteem. I'm now more open to go out and be more outdoorsy. Before
mm,
I'm afraid of going hiking in public before, like going to the beach.
mm,
But now I
mm.
feel like you know what, I do me. I'm compatible and secure about myself. So that's, I think, been the biggest change happened so far. And you know what, all my old clothes fit well now.
Mm.
It's a better physique. I can see it, so that builds up my self esteem, and it just makes everything for me easier. Have a lighter
Mhm.
mood, if that makes sense.
Yes, 100%. That makes sense, man. Feeling better in your clothes, just feel, and I love how you said like you feel secure about yourself and you're able to go hiking, you're able to enjoy the beach and where you live and like a nice meditation on the beach. I know you did that and you do that often. And like for some guys that are listening, it's hard to do that because sometimes maybe they get out of breath or they don't feel comfortable in their body. So the fact that you're working on that is awesome, and those changes, I mean, it's incredible. Like what you've done, Jeremy, in like only 5 months, just changing your life, it's pretty special. So I love that. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, coach. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So, last question I have for you, for anyone listening to this right now, thinking about starting their own fitness journey, what would you say to them?
I definitely recommend. I think when I spoke to Coach Danny about it before, I didn't thought of mostly I want to lose weight, be in the right shape, or why I want to be when I was younger. It's
Mm,
mostly because we like to invest, right? We like to invest on like money wise, like we
mhm.
want, like for stocks, mutual fund,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
I saw this opportunity to invest myself, because in the
Mm,
long run, myself would be my biggest investment. So
mm,
taking care of my health, my is my own wealth, right? And also the mentality, everything around me, around you guys. If you start within yourself, the mindset, physically and stuff like that, it will all fall into pieces, like all in the good, I mean, in the right direction. So I would say go for it, do it for yourself. Always think, what's your purpose, what do you want to do?
mm,
If you have something in mind that you always wanting to do, jump the gun for it, go for it, because
mm,
that's when the scariest part is, when you don't know, and that's exciting. it's
mm,
it's mostly, I would recommend it. I was scared, I was hesitant about joining Coach Danny's fam, but I just did it because, I mean, you know what can I lose, right? I mean, it's a win-win situation.
mm,
It's for the long term, and I see myself continuing this program for longer term, right? So for me,
mm.
I would say, for anyone even thinking about it, now that you're even thinking about it, go for it. Give yourself um do it for yourself a favor, if that makes sense to you guys.
I love that. It makes total sense to me, and I bet everybody resonates with that because just like you said, Jeremy, it's uncomfortable, but we have to step into that uncomfortability. And just like you said, we just got to jump the gun because we know it's right for us, even though like it scares us. We know it's right for us. So, yeah, that was that you hit it on the nail. I appreciate that, and like I'm just proud of you that you stepped into that feeling of uncomfortability and you could see how you've grown, how you've changed, how you feel so much better. So I think those were some wise words right there. Just take that leap if you really need that help. I love it. Awesome. So do you have like any final thoughts, Jeremy? Anything you want to say to end this?
Um, to all of all the people watching, just even just trying to see or test the water with Coach Danny, I highly recommend maybe reach out to him, be open to what you're thinking to him, because he would guide you to your best interests. And mostly you barely see that to other online coach out there. I mean, I don't know much, but mostly I feel comfortable with him. And you know what? At some point, okay, like literally you can school me or whatever, so at least to do myself a self check, a pulse
Mm,
check. So for me, if you have any question or concern regarding where do you wanna go, and but you have to know where you start, reach out to Coach Danny. He's been so helpful. He's so nice, and I would say, but he also strict. He makes
yeah.
you he helps you with having a discipline. He literally along with he's really with you along the way.
I love that, Jeremy. I really do appreciate that. And just like you said, sometimes reaching out for help is the hardest part. And just like you said, Jeremy, you were kind of like, I'm not sure who this guy is messaging me. Like, I don't know. But you took that leap and you were open minded to it and you have that perspective. And you could see, like, not only is taking the leap in this program helping your health, it's helping your career, relationships, everything, relationship with yourself as well, which is most important. So, yeah, I do appreciate that, man. Thanks so much. Well, thank you, Jeremy, for being on the podcast today, dude.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's I'm happy that you
Yeah.
I'm part of this podcast, 'cause at least it might not make a lot of difference out there, but some people hopefully will be inspired and be motivated to join the fam, or just starting their progress on their own, because
Exactly.
that's the best investment they can do it for themselves.
Yes, just like you said, the best investment is always in yourself. And yeah, we're just looking to change one life here, right? If we could change one life, that's really what's most important because we both know that there's a guy listening to this right now that is struggling with weight loss and you've been gaining weight, sedentary, not feeling confident. Jeremy was in your shoes and now he's losing body fat, feeling amazing, like leveling up in his career and his numbers, finances, and he's on the podcast right now. So that just goes to show like what you can do if you really just take that first step. So, Jeremy, appreciate you so much. You can hang tight right there. All right, just stay right there. And for everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Jeremy, you're the best, man. And we'll talk to everybody soon. All right, sound good?
All right, thank
Uh,
you.
all right, stay right there, Jeremy. No problem. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.